Hey guys, this is Flaus, and today I'm going to tell you my story. I'm originally from Brazil, so my first language is Portuguese from Brazil. My second language is English, but I feel more comfortable speaking in English than in Portuguese. I don't think that makes sense. After 8 years here, I have a lot of words in Portuguese that I don't remember anymore. Sometimes I just spend like a few minutes looking for a word, and I know the word in English, but I don't know how to say that in Portuguese. Going from that, this was the one of the toughest decisions I have ever made, because I've been planning this for like over a year now, and one thing that was in my mind is that I'm going to say things in Portuguese or I'm going to speak in English. Which one is better? I have more friends from Brazil than from the US, but in English I can reach a lot of more people than only in Brazil. This is my goal. I want to go global. I want to go like everywhere. So Portuguese is going to give me a limit on where I could go. So I will explain you guys how I learned English and how I ended up in US, in Miami. Well, I was born in Brazil in 1992. I'm 30 years old now, and I was born in Guarulhos. Guarulhos is a city near São Paulo, and it has the biggest airport in South America. That's it. Guarulhos has the biggest airport, and it's near São Paulo. That's everything I have to say about my city in Brazil. Comparing Brazil to US, we have one big problem. It's the price of things. If something that costs in US 10, in Brazil is like 100, and has been like this for a while. And so when I was 16, I realized that in Paraguay they have things from US that costs a little more than here, but it's still a lot less than in Brazil. So I decided to start going there, buying things, grabbing everything I could, and bring to Brazil and sell to my friends. And I did that for 5 years, from the age of 16 to the age of 21. I did around like 20 trips from Guarulhos to Paraguay. When I was 20, I was able to get my visa to US. It was right before I turned 21. So when I turned 21, I got my visa, so I was able to come here. My first place was Orlando. I just stayed there for like 3 days, and I went to all the outlets, and I spent all my money there, and I went back to Brazil. But one thing that I remember, it's really strong in my mind, when I left the airport in Brazil, and I said, man, I don't want to live here anymore. I want to live there. I wasn't that happy anymore. So when I saw US, I said, US is a nice place. I may try, I may go there, I don't know, let's see. So this was the end of 2013, and by the beginning of 2014, my life kind of collapsed, and everything like was gone. Everything that could hold me to move to US was over. I had like a relationship that was over. All my friends, I wasn't like too close to them. Also my job, I was fired from my job, and I said, man, I don't have a job, I don't have a girlfriend, my family's here, I have my visa, let's give it a try. So I started searching and looking for like apartments to rent, how much is the cost of life here in the US. I realized that I would not have enough money to buy a car when I got here. And US, every place you need a car. You cannot like go walking anywhere here. It's everything far away. That's when my cousin, she lived in New York many years ago, and she told me, oh, if you go to New York, it's better because you won't have costs with car because you can use the subway instead. I said, all right, let's go for New York. And I didn't know much about New York, and it was fun because when I first got there, it was really cold. It was like minus 6 Celsius, around like 15 Fahrenheit, something like that. It was really cold, and I said, oh my God, the city is so cold. But all right, I was enjoying the cold because I came from a tropical country, and really warm where I'm from. And I said, all right, it's a new thing. Okay, let's enjoy. I took the subway and I went to Times Square. My first place in New York City was Times Square, and I saw the buildings and I saw everything, the lights. I said, oh my God, I'm here. What am I going to do now? Because I didn't have any hotel, I didn't have any place to stay. I just had like $1,000 in my pocket. So I started looking for places to stay because I needed a place to sleep. I found a hostel that was near Central Park. They had like only one night available. So I was able to book, and I went to the hotel, I dropped my stuff, and I said, oh, let's go discover the city and let's see what the city has for me. And it was a fun day. I don't remember much. I remember that I went to get a coat, a jacket, like a bigger coat, but I got like one that I never used. It was like a long suit, and I said, it's not my style. I'm not going to use this, but it's okay. It's another thing that I learned. And after that day, the first day in New York, I started thinking like, how am I going to be here for like this whole month? I mean, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough everything. I have no English. I have nothing. How am I going to stay here? And my father has a friend who has a friend that lives in New York area. He lives like 3 hours away from New York. And this pastor, he called me and asked me to go to his house. And I say, oh yes, all right, let's go. I have a place to stay for free, why not? And I stayed there like for 2 weeks until I could be able to find a place to stay near the city, because I want to stay near New York. New York is a big state. The New York City is a small island, so I don't want to be far away from the island. I want to be close to the island. So that's when I went to Astoria. I went to lives in a basement. It's like a basement. Everybody know what a basement is. And I stay in the couch. It had like a small couch where I could sleep. And I spent there like a few months. And I could see in that place that I could live here for longer. At that time I was able to get like a few jobs. I was getting paid not much, but I was getting a little money. I said, if I work more, I can have more money. I can stay here, pay my rent, pay all my stuff, and I can be here longer. This was my first year. It was really difficult. It was easy in a certain way, but it was really hard in another way. It was really hard at the beginning because I had to move a lot. I moved from the hostel to the pastor's house. I went to the basement, and after that I went to apartment of a friend in Brooklyn. He went to Brazil and said, oh, you can stay in my apartment for a month. I said, all right, let's do this. It's for free. Let's do. And I went to his apartment, and after when he came back, I looked for a place, but the only thing I could find that was cheap enough was in Newark. Newark is a city in New Jersey. It's like 30 minutes away from New York. I stayed there for like 2 months. It was enough for me to get out of the city, and I said, I want to go back to New York. I want to be near the city. I found a place in Manhattan that was really cheap, but it was an illegal place because the owner of the place, what he did, he got a 3-bedroom apartment, a big apartment in Upper East Side, but he put like 24 beds. It was 12 bunk beds, 12 belicious, 12 bunk beds. So could fit like 24 people, 24 different people in the same house with like 2 bathrooms and 1 single kitchen. For the price it was good, for the convenience, because I was living in Manhattan. It lasts only for like 3 weeks when I got a call from my friend. He's saying, man, come right now to the house and pick your stuff. The police came. They're gonna close the apartment like tonight. Everybody needs to go by midnight. I say, oh my God, man, I have no place to go. I have nowhere to go. What am I going to do? So I went there, I grabbed my stuff, I was on the street, and I remember that I called my friend Igor, and he said, man, you can come to my house, stay like 1 week or 2, I don't know, till you can find yourself a new place. And I I went to his place, but Igor is a guy that I met in one of the jobs I did on the beginning. I work in a shoe store for like a month or even less, like 3 weeks maybe. I was learning how to shine shoes, how to be a shoe shine guy. I didn't like much. I mean, they didn't pay me anything for the time I was there. I was really mad because, man, I'm working, but I'm not receiving money. I need to do something that is really going to give me money. But I didn't find anything. This friend, Igor, he invited me to be his partner. He had like his own business of shoe shine, and he told me, oh, I'm going to teach you till you're good enough, and then you can get like more buildings for you to work. And I say, all right, let's do this. So we worked together for like 3 years, and in those 3 years it was really good because that was the time I learned to speak English. I had only American customers, so I had to do it in English. During those years I went to a school. I'm not a good student. I hate school. I hate being sitting down for hours. I like to study by myself. If you see here, like my papers, I like to do this. I like to study by myself. I'm a autodidata, não sei como falar isso em inglês. But during those 3 years, one thing happened to me during a trip. I went to San Diego, California, and it was one of the best trips of my life. I got sunburned on the first day, so the other days I stayed like this because I was burning. I was I don't know. I was teaching. I don't know. I got burned my whole body, and it was kind of messed up because I really wanted to enjoy my trip. It was my first time. It was my first time in California, and I really wanted to see all the places. So I went to LA. I went to Santa Monica, Venice. And I had like a small camera. I had a GoPro camera, and with this GoPro camera, I came back to New York and I started looking for the videos I had, and I liked the videos, but I didn't like much. It was too shaky. It was like the quality wasn't really good. The colors, I mean, everything was like could be better. Realizing that, I started asking my photographer friends for cameras. In 2016, I bought my first professional camera. That was a Nikon D600, I think, at the time. That was the camera that I started learning how to do photos, how to understand. And during that time, like for a year, I went really hard on YouTube videos, blogs. Like I really wanted to learn how to take a good photography. After this year, studying, I went up looking for videos and how to create videos and how to do better videos. I started looking for a school. I said, I have enough on my own, but I really want to go to some place that they can give me something else. I wanted something else. So I started looking for film schools in New York. So I found New York Film Academy. It's one of the greatest film schools in America, and Steven Spielberg went there for like a film school. I don't know. I know that Steven Spielberg, he studied there, but it costs a lot to study in US. A lot. So what I did like a bold move. I went to my partner and I wanted to sell my part of the company, and I was leaving the business for good with no way back. After like 1 or 2 months, I was able to pay for school, and I used all my money to pay for this course. It was kind of surprising for me because the course it was not what I expect to be. It was like a lot more than I expect to be, you know. I was looking for like a editing course because I knew I need to get better at editing, but the film school was more about directing and producing and lighting and equipment and cameras and set and settings and everything. I wanted to learn editing, but I learned everything that's around the filmmaking scene. On this course, I was able to be a director, a producer, a light assistant, audio assistant, cameraman. I could be a DOP. I could be all kind of assistant. I knew how a set work. So this was one of the greatest things that I did in my life. After I graduated in the beginning of 2018, I moved to California and I resumed 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 in a few words. Because these 4 years was, the toughest years of my life, but it was the years that make me grow. They made me grow. In 2018, I worked with a lot of artists from California and also from Brazil. In LA, I work in big sets with more than 100 people working in one production. It was really good for my experience. I really needed to see how that works and how everyone works on the set, because I'm always watching. I'm a guy that's quiet, but I'm always observing. So I knew how the director used to work, how he used to see the frames and see the composition, and if I like the shot, he used to say something. If he didn't like it, let's do another one. So I've been working on projects, on my project and other person's projects to the end of 2019. In 2019, I noticed one thing. I was working a lot for others and I wasn't working for me. And what I mean by working for me, I'm not working on my self-development. I'm working on the others' development. I was an independent filmmaker. I was just doing like solo jobs, just like freelancing. But in 2020 that came, you know what? The virus? Yeah. And that changed all my plans. I had to reinvent myself. 2020 was, I think, the worst year of my life in specific ways, because it was a good year. It was the year that my name was born. Flaws, it's my last name, cut in half, almost in half. I didn't have that till 2020. My designer helped me with that. But one thing that most broke me is that in 2020 I lost my identity of myself. I was so focused on the others and pleasing the others that I forgot to do that to myself. When you forget to take care of yourself first, one thing it's going to happen. One day or one night, sooner or later, you're gonna have a breakdown. That breakdown came to me by the end of the 2020. I had to do some changes in my life. I decided to give a try to Miami in my life. I always said that I didn't want to live in Miami because Miami was too hot, but after a few years in New York, I was able to say, all right, I'm going to move to Miami. I want the hot weather. I want to be warm again. I moved to Miami, but the things never go the way we planned. For like 3 months, I stayed only by myself. These 3 months, God used to reach me again. I found my identity again, and I start to working on that, and in a new perspective. Yeah, I started looking in a new perspective way. And after that, I put God first in my life. I say, God, I know that I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. And you know better than me. So if you can guide me my steps on your way, not my way, do this for me. Because I can't by myself. I can't do this by myself. I'm not enough by myself. But if you are with me, you can bring me with you, so I can go there, I can be there. And so this is my story. And the last year I improved my company a lot. I had like 2 partners, but I saw that my company of partners wasn't going to work, so 2 months ago I bought my company from my partners, and now I'm the owner, I'm the founder, and everything in Flaws Media Company. I do the videos, I do the editing, I do the finances, I do all the business strategy, I do everything. I'm doing this right now. And one thing I want to share with you is that it's not easy. It may look easy, but it's not easy. For many times I decided to quit. I was thinking about to give up, but I never did. So that's why I'm still here. So if you don't quit, you're gonna get there anyway. So yeah, this is my story. Short story, short, long story short. And I hope you guys like it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to put like subtitles here. For this video is all. I hope you guys like it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. There's more content coming. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. Till next time.